I watched your
Sorry,
roundtable
someone. Sorry,
Keisha.
someone said my name,
Oh yeah, when you start the stream,
which I'm starting right now.
yeah, can I share what the pre-votes were?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh no.
Actually, wait, I kind of don't want to hear.
Go
Do you
for
just
it.
want the counts?
We're ready? Is it ready?
Yeah, it's streaming.
Right. I just wanted to say, just to reiterate again how strong this final three was. Production had no idea who was winning this game until the voting booth happened tonight. We could not tell based on what the jury was saying who they were rooting for tonight. The pre-votes were a 4-4-2. So we thought we were getting another Galapagos time moment potentially.
Decide because we already talked about the scenario, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So we truly I mean, this was really close. And when people say that they were like undecided and open, that's incredibly factual. This was a very, very close final tribal. And so that always makes it fun, I think, to me.
Yeah.
Wait, so what was the 4-4-2? I need to know.
It was 4 Eleanor, 4 Kyle, and 2 Jude.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
Votes.
I know I have to decide. Yeah.
Yeah, this jury, definitely a lot of you were open. Not as open as some, but a lot of you were open, and I can give you that credit.
But guys, honestly, I'm sorry. I had the best parchments of every time. I was always putting on the. I was always putting like this. I was always putting on a parchment. I was always putting on the icon for
the season
tribe logo. Yeah. And I was always pre-voted like that, not just write name down.
Oh,
so I had the best ones.
That's really cute.
Swear to God.
That's really cute, Polly.
Okay, so
it would have been cuter if it had my name on it, though.
Sorry to interrupt everyone. I'm just going to turn it over to Brandon, who's going to share his screen because we have awards.
It has been my responsibility, self-ordained, for the past 5 seasons to make this fucking award slide. So we're gonna do this. All right.
We have nominees for each award, I believe.
Yes, and it is mostly the rewards stay the same every single time for the most part. We do add some kind of here and there.
There's a special one that we added in.
Wait, did we post this in Video Central?
No.
We will post it eventually.
We will post it
I just want to make sure everyone can see my screen, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
So welcome to the Triumph Worlds Collide Award Ceremony presented by us. So this is how it will work. Production was given a poll on different awards to cast your votes on, but we ended up being indecisive motherfuckers and then changing our minds multiple times. And we argued about these for a couple days, including maybe an hour before final. No, that's a lie. 20 minutes before final tribal.
We were talking about the votes still when we sent the link to all of you to come to final tribal.
No, literally. That's why we were late a little bit. We were still trying to discuss this shit. This is what we came up with. A reminder, this is only production's thoughts and should not be taken personally. We at production are so proud of everything everyone has accomplished this season, and we love you all for making this the most dramatic and entertaining Triumph season yet, despite the quiz, which were all understandable except for the one. Okay? Does that work?
The one.
I have a quick question. I don't know if anybody else can. I'm only seeing like half the screen you're sharing. That could just be me, though. If it's just me,
I'm seeing it. I'm on my computer and I'm seeing the whole thing.
I see the whole thing.
Maybe, Eleanor, see if you can expand your screen, or if it's just that you might have the people too large. You can sometimes toggle the viewer part, the screen part.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We're still gonna say everything out loud though, so you should still be able to hear. We as hosts have divided up awards to present. I will be presenting the first one, which is Physical Player of the Season. This is the person who was just the best physically. Point blank, period, simple, right? Our nominees are Eleanor, Fabi, and Owen. Both of these people have shown their competence strategically, but I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. Eleanor, you broke the fucking record.
Thank you.
We usually...
I am so shocked by this.
Yeah, it's something with...
And I just want to say, like, unlike in Survivor, a woman winning and breaking the record.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's something with Triumph specifically that almost every season we've had, there's always been someone who just demolishes the individual immunities. We don't know why this is the case. It just happens. Before, the record was 5 individual immunity wins tied by 3 different people. And Eleanor broke the record with 6. We'll be completely honest, I don't see this game broken anytime soon unless someone gets really cracked. So congrats, you're gonna probably have this for a while. You're the best physical player. It's not a question.
Thank you. At least I won something.
All right. Next up, we have social player. I will not be presenting this one. This one will be presented by Megan.
Me, I present social player, and I'm mostly presenting this award because I'm the one that does the trust rankings that I bother you about constantly. And I think the trust rankings plays a lot into somebody's good social game. If people trust you a lot, then you're clearly doing something well socially. So Brandon, if you could just show the nominees for me, please, love.
Is
So I can
Cassie,
just...
Kyle, and Jude.
Alrighty, Cassie, Kyle, and Jude. So all 3 of you guys had great social games. Just made people love you immediately, talking to people constantly. Some of you getting on calls literally all the time, including in the jury. However, the player that has won this, again, trust rankings. So starting in episode 2, they broke a Triumph record since we started doing these trust rankings by being the first and only person to ever get a perfect 1. As in, they were rated as the #1 trusted on their tribe by every single member. They had a little bit of a fall in the swap due to an unfortunate swap situation. However, starting from the very first round of the merge and until the end of this game, they remained the top person in trust rankings averaged out. And just goes to show that everyone trusted them. They got in good with everyone. They're charming, they're mesmerizing. And I have to say that the winner is Brendan. Kyle. Kyle literally, demolished those trust rankings. I don't even know how the fuck that happened. Demolished the social game. Everyone was obsessed. Like, Kyle was not even here for the first 24 hours of the game, and I was like, oh, he's getting first boot. And then he shows up and he's like, sorry, I had no power. And everyone's like, that's okay. Like, we love you. You're hot and cool. And it just stayed that way for the entire rest of the game. So
I just want to also say Kyle had no right to be #1 with the amount of shit he was doing, but y'all just trusted him implicitly.
Yeah, I'm honored.
Killed it.
Oh my god.
That's so deserved. That's fucking deserved.
Thank you.
Next up
Okay, next up.
Yep, strategic player. The person presenting this is Keisha.
So I will unmute myself so you can hear me present it. For strategic player, we also have 3 nominees, and Brandon will reveal those because I know who they are. I just don't know the order he has them in. So we have Danny, Jude, and Owen. Again, for strategic player, this is the player who comes up with plans, who thinks about the strategy, who comes up with a plan A, plan B, plan C sometimes, talks about it with their allies and thinks about what is going to be the best option for making the next step, not just for this round, but for the next rounds of the game. Sometimes those plans work, sometimes they don't. And for the winner of this category, it's the person who made the plans with their alliance that actually got their whole alliance to the end of the game, making these plans round after round, talking with them, strategizing with them, using the group information to go forward. And that person is Jude. So while I just want to say here, Danny and Owen, great strategists, did a great job of making plans, and Danny, of course, got a couple of great vote outs with the strategy that she used. Jude is the winner of most strategic player because her making plans, especially with her allies, got her and them all the way to the end of the game. And so that's why Jude is the winner for most strategic player here.
I fucking knew it. And we had to divide us for 3 different categories, and we had to decide who is the physical, the social, and the strategic player of the season. And for my head, for all of the time, I was like, okay, Eleanor is a physical threat. Kyle is a social threat, and Jude is a strategic threat. That's why I could not decide that who I'm going to vote for. And you guys are made it fucking amazing. I'm so glad about all of you. Not gonna
I
lie.
feel like if you ask Kyle, he'll say his best was strategic, which is crazy. Because if you ask me, I would say my best is social. But like I understand like all the points that have gone through. Like I guess strategic was. I know Kyle was dominating.
Jude, I will just confirm. No, he was social. You were strategic.
Yeah, like Jude, you slaughtered, you mothered.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like the way that you would be like this, but this, and like you guys were pulling information, so you guys worked together, but you were good about using the information to say, okay, but if we do this, then this, and this next few rounds might happen. So instead, we should do this. That's what made you the strongest strategic player, was being able to outline like, or this person will be mad, or this group reaction will be this, or saying, because of this, I know Cassie voted Davy.
Okay.
You know, so like that was the strategic player, was being able to do all those things and pull it together.
Okay. We will move on now, though. We love you, but we'll move on.
All right.
Yeah, this is gonna take forever.
Next up is most rap pre-juror. Megan specifically wanted to do this one.
This is the one I asked to talk about because I have thoughts, and I'm looking at some of you motherfuckers right here. I see you on camera. Anyway, yeah, you just laughed. You know who I'm talking about. Give me those nominees. Let's talk about it. So Al, Mona Lisa, and then Chef. All of these players were robbed in some way. Like Al gave so much effort and like cared so much about this game, but just like people didn't really give him a chance. Like it was hard. There was like that disconnect there. It wasn't that he wasn't trying, but like it just couldn't happen. Mona Lisa, we saw she got idled out by Jude, which wasn't, you know, if Jude didn't have an idol, she was gonna stay and Jude was gonna go home. But then to talk a little bit about Chef. Chef, I know from another game, and I was incredibly excited for him to play. He's kind of like, not even my recruit, but kind of my recruit. He was killing these first 2 rounds of this game. Top of the Tribe's trust rankings, top of the game's power rankings. Like, even with time zone changes, like I think he was gonna run this game. Chef had the Bum idol. And then Danny and Mona Lisa and Hyrie came in and said, never mind, and fucking blindsided the shit out of him. And I lost my shit. So therefore, the winner of the most rep pre-juror goes to Chef. Because literally this entire game, I argue, would have been different if he had stayed in this game. I don't think he was going to go anywhere soon at that point. So that was a really huge blindside. It's a congrats to like you guys from Bum Bum, but also fuck you.
That was probably the most chaotic pre-merge tribal. That vote literally changed, I think, 30 minutes before the tribal.
Yeah. And it was at like 4 a.m. my time that it happened.
Yeah.
So
no.
I literally woke up at 6 to do that tribal, and I was thoroughly entertained.
No,
it was 11 a.m. It was 11 a.m. my time. I was having a lovely time.
I was half asleep, semi woke up, saw a message at like 4:30 in the morning or something that was like, oh no, I think this is shipped in the chat, and sprung up out of my bed like, wait, what? It was madness for everybody at like random times of the morning.
Yeah, we're still pissed about this one. We're all still pissed about this.
Hold on, I'm not.
No, Ollie was fine. I was pissed because I was like, damn, that's a big blindside. But you know, people do what they got to do.
No, it was insane. The amount of like hopping on different calls for like hours straight was wild.
All right. Next up, just
no. Wait, I always thought that the most chaotic vote out before merge was gonna be me and Luis voting for Thomas at the very, very first try.
Oh, that still is. Don't worry. You can keep that. Yeah. Don't worry.
It still is.
Also, I'd like to throw in Jonathan as a robbed pre-juror because he got sloppy style fucked.
No.
Wait, I want to throw in Mothy. Like, I love Mothy.
Oh.
So I will say, have these discussions after this. Because trust me when I tell you, this will take about 5 hours, if not.
Yeah.
We're trying to help you benefit.
Let's just move on. Most robbed juror. Ollie, that's you.
Yes. So we have our most robbed juror. I think it was quite unanimous because no shade, some of you weren't. But the ones that were are Davey, Fabi, and TJ. And I'm just going to go straight to the winner so we can talk about it. The winner of most robbed pre-juror is Davey. That vote, the final 12 vote, was absolutely chaotic. And had just even 1 or 2 more votes switched, Davey would still be here and probably would have made it so much further than probably people realized. So yeah, it's safe to say that Davey is the most robbed pre-juror, and we give him his flowers. But obviously, TJ and Fabi, we also give you your flowers as well, because I think both of you had potential. Someone had an idol that they could have played, so that's why you didn't win. But yeah, Davey, congratulations.
All right.
Moving on.
Next up is what I'm presenting, Best Returnee Redemption. So obviously we've had returnees in the game. Some did better, some did not. This is just to acknowledge the player that we think has improved the most from their previous season. Our nominees are Fabi, Hyrie, and Bali. I'm just going to go in order. Fabi, I played with you in Japan. We both know your game wasn't that good. We both know it. No one really gave you a chance in Japan, which is why I fought for you so hard to be returning on this season. The growth that I've seen in you as a player has been tremendous, and you definitely played a better game here than you did in Japan. Hyrie, you calmed down so fucking much from when you were in Galapagos that it was just very cool to see you kind of be this level-headed strategic player. And if you're talking about calming down, Pali, this is the game I thought I was going to get from you in Congo. Not the messy-ass game player you were in Congo. This is the game I thought you were going to play. I'm going to be so real. All 3 of you have improved so much as players from your past seasons, but we've decided, almost pretty unanimously actually, that the winner of this award is Pali. Congratulations. You are our best returnee redemption.
I don't know what to say. It feels great.
Let's just say, without Lewis in the game, girly, you did good.
First
Girly, you did good.
Kyle was the real Lewis in my game. Honestly.
Technically, Lewis was a huge part of this game. He was more than some of the players.
All right. Next up is our biggest underdog. This is going to be John.
All right. So biggest underdog. Wait a second. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, my Zoom was saying that you can't hear me. All right. So biggest underdog is somebody that we know has always got that target on them, but they're always trying to pull through. And yeah, let's see these nominees, because we have Polly, Rocky, and Owen. I mean, all 3 of these players were amazing. They're always fighting against the club. And yeah, let's just see the winner, because I'll explain it after. Once again, it's Polly. Polly was the target for like probably 5-6 votes in a row going into immunity. Excuse me. And then somehow Polly always managed to just overcome that adversity and fight till Final 4. So congrats on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Kyle, I never mentioned it to you, but I wanted you to go since Final 7. Or no, since the castle vote. I wanted you to go out because I know how much you would cause chaos in my gameplay. But I genuinely love you a lot.
I love you too, Polly.
All right. Next up is best duo, I think, is what we have.
Yes.
Which is still you, I believe.
It is still me. Duos, it's easy enough. I mean, we had a lot of duos, we had a lot of trios here, a lot of just pairs, and I think some of these are going to be some pretty obvious duos. So let's check and see the nominees. We have Cassie and Z, Eleanor and Jude, and Rocky and Owen. All three of these pairs were thick as thieves, were talking incessantly every single day, plotting people's demises, and just having just fun together in their duo, in their one-on-ones. But for me, apparently the obvious winner is Cassie and Z. The other two were great, but Cassie and Z had some amazing conversations. Yeah, the two of you were just a great joy to see talking together.
On jury calls constantly, literally like every single day. Just them two. No one else even would join.
No, even once it got to jury, it was fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we had a handful of times on jury that people would join, but we were just friends. That's what we told people the entire game. We didn't even strategize together that much. We were just friends who enjoyed talking and, both talk a lot. So, we are a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I can confirm the amount of times I went onto the jury chat, listened to Cassie and Z for about 2 seconds, realized it had nothing game related, so I just went.
You would do that to me all the time, Ollie.
I did that to a lot of people, to be fair.
You would come into the club and just hear us talking about like our dead pets, and then you dip.
Oh.
Sorry.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I said all along, it was kind of irritating being put as a duo with Cass because, like, as much as I love her, I'd have been perfectly open to voting her out in the right situation. Really were genuinely just like friends. If nothing else, I am grateful to this game for giving me what I think will be a lifelong friendship because Cassie's amazing.
Aww.
Yes.
Oh my god.
All right. So we have duos, but we also have alliances.
And we had some good ones in this game. So let's talk about the best alliance. Brandon, if you will reveal. We had the Club, which was Jude, Kyle, Eleanor, and it was actually formed with one other person who left the game right after, almost immediately as it was formed. So the Club, the entire game ended up being Jude, Kyle, Eleanor. We had Plan B, which was Hyrie, Rocky, Owen. We had Panic Stations, which is Cassie, Z, Polly, and Kyle. So as you guys know, the Club ended up getting to the end of the game as a final 3. So of course the best alliance, hands down, is the Club. And I wanted to present this award because I ended up on a lot of calls with the Club. And they really were the best alliance. They really worked really well 80% of the time together. And they laughed, they cried at times, they strategized, they pulled information. They were telling each other every single thing that all of you were saying. They would come back to their little Club meetings, tell each other everything. But then also they had a big blow up. And I thought the Club was going to be no more because the Club was quiet, was crickets for about a day and a half. And it was scary because I was like, if the Club doesn't come back together, the Club is not making Final Tribal Council. And so this was the best alliance because they really found a way to get past that, work together, pull information, strategize together, use their strengths, which you all saw was 3 different strengths they each had, pull that together to get themselves to the end. And any of them I thought could win the game. And it's a testament to the 3 of them that they really did work so well together in general, and trust each other so much that they really did make it happen and made it all the way to the end together. So great job. This really was the best alliance of the season, and probably the most, as we said, the best dysfunctional alliance of Triumph.
Yeah, it's the most dysfunctional, dominant alliance in Triumph history.
Yes. Good job, guys.
Thank you guys. I had so much fun in the club.
The club was fun. I was there too.
Are all fam, actually.
Before we go on to the next one, because I promise this will tie in, the fact that there was a Club Alliance, but the fact that there was also a We All Fam Alliance, it was in both of them.
I think that was hilarious. Yeah.
That was so funny.
Speaking
I
of
was like,
names,
does he know?
though, Best
Best
Alliance does not
Alliance
mean Best
name.
Alliance name. So we will not be
Yes.
presenting what the Best Alliance name is.
This is for
And yeah, because we had some very funny names this season. I mean, we had a lot of alliances because you all loved to make alliances. Side note, there was actually a point in the game where we had to delete chats because so many alliances wanted to be made. We had to literally delete from the archive.
Yeah.
Now,
He had a max number of VCs or some shit.
on to the Best Alliance names.
I asked
We actually have
I
quite a
don't know.
lot.
Nothing.
right.
I just said I asked you guys to erase an alliance and you wouldn't.
Nope. So the Best Alliance name nominations are just the eggplant emoji.
Oh.
That was the name.
Yep, 5 eggplant emoji.
Eleanor. 4. Just 4. The Horsome Foursome. Keisha's Cuties. And Uteruses before Deuteruses. These were the best ones we had, but our winner is Uteruses before Deuteruses. And that was
It's just funny.
Cassie, Eleanor, and Jude. Yeah, it was just funny.
It was funny as
it
fuck.
was just funny.
It's such a good name. That's all props. to
Well,
him.
it's a quote from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Ellen knows.
It's a quote from Parks and Rec, and I died. I couldn't believe they went for it, but I love that name. So
It was
Congratulations. It was really funny. Okay,
It was
on to
very
the next one.
This one's also a fun one. Best
Yes.
costume. Because
Best
y'all dressed
costume.
up.
I love that you guys were sending pictures of yourselves, not just around Halloween, but in other setups. So we have the best costumes. Let's display them and pick one. I don't know which order we have them in. So of course we have Owen on set. I don't know what he's called, but he's on set and he looks really cute in his little costume. And then next we have
Holy
our
shit.
High School Musical Davy. Oh my gosh. And then of course we have Rocky as the Power Ranger. Yes. And then finally we got Eleanor. I think it was The Situation, right? Eleanor, is that what it was? Yes, The Situation. So we loved all of the sharing that you all did together because we're all fam. But we did give the best costume to, and the reveal goes to slaying it was Rocky in the Power Ranger costume. Yes. Great job.
We couldn't find the other picture. I would have put that other
Find the
picture.
other picture. This was the pre-picture that Rocky sent us of trying it on before the full glam post. But yes, Rocky slayed in that Power Ranger costume.
Thank you. This is so deserved.
All right.
And
next
Rocky
up,
was really hot. That's it.
Megan, this is you.
Oh my god, rivalry. I love to talk about rivalries. So there was a lot of fucking fighting this season. Which, again, made it interesting and fun. A lot of you are very emotional, very reactive. So let's see the nominees for rivalries. First we have Danny versus Z. I feel like this is mostly one-sided because Danny just kept voting for Z over and over again.
Even after Z got voted out.
Yeah, it was great. What else we got going on here? I think there was 3 or 4, right? Oh, Eleanor
Six.
versus Hyrie. I mean, they were at each other's throats constantly. Reading their chat was insane. It almost got to a point where we were worried about both of them because they were both just fed up with each other. What else we got? Keisha and voice notes. You guys sent a lot of fucking voice notes and Keisha hates them and hates listening to them. And she wanted to make a rule that people can't send voice notes, but I can't force y'all not to. So I'm sorry, Keisha.
Hey,
Kyle versus telling the truth. Kyle lied out his ass. And it was great because everyone believed it.
No right to believe it. but they believed it.
Yeah, they believed it. So Kyle and Telling the Truth, we're definitely enemies. What else we got? Pally. Okay, actually, I need to zoom out on my screen now. That's weird. Pally versus Rocky.
This has to win.
The moments.
This
Not me.
has to win.
And
Not
then one
gonna
more.
lie.
What's left? Oh,
Oh.
Progress is quitting because, well,
Dumb.
we had a lot of quits. So yeah, I think wasn't there like, I don't know if there's that basically all you guys kept fucking fighting. But one of the funniest ones for us to watch that lasted for a significant amount of time, was the winner, which was, drum roll please, Eleanor versus Hyrie. It went on for a long time. Then there was a point where Hyrie was like, I'm gonna give Eleanor a chance, and Eleanor was like, he doesn't mean it. And then Hyrie was like, throw your vote on me, and Eleanor was like, okay, bestie. And it was a hot mess. And it was fun, but also insane to watch them fighting constantly. So congrats.
Yay,
Hi,
Eleanor, we won something together.
Hyrie, I love you so much. I think we're so similar, and that's all. I think you were playing so well. You played me, and it made me mad. But
Yeah,
you,
I mean, it's all game. Like, no hard feelings or whatever.
oh, I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna fight
All
some.
right.
Just want to point out, I called this best rivalry like day 2. It was
Yep.
just right away.
Oh, okay, thank
We
you
got
guys.
very concerned. We got so concerned. All right, this next category is for me, and it is the best move. This is what we believe is the best move of the season, point blank period. We have 4 nominees for this. They are the Clur blindsiding Hyrie at the final 8, Danny blindsiding Fabi during the survival of the fittest twist, Panic Station's blindsiding Davey during the chaotic final 12 tribal, and then Jude idling out Mona Lisa. Just going in order, I think y'all touched on the Hyrie blindside specifically during Final Tribal Council. It is true that Hyrie did attempt to orchestrate a blindside on Jude and then backed out of that, which gave y'all the opening to pretty much snipe out Hyrie. Danny blindsiding Fabi, like, we cannot stress, it was so last minute that she made up her mind during the voting booth. She initially voted for Pali and then changed her mind in the voting booth, right? But she was the one who very much, from our opinion, pushed the vote onto Fabi instead of Rocky. Panic Station's completely utilizing the chaos going on during the final 12 vote and everyone trying to take out each other to snipe out Davey was also really cool. And then Jude idling out Mona Lisa. I mean, Mona Lisa herself pretty much said leaving, it was probably the best move Jude could make at that point in time. So all of these were very good moves. But we had to give it to the move where I think it pretty much defined the end game and was the pivotal move in order to see how the rest of the game played out. As a result, we are giving best move to the Clur blindsiding Hyrie. It was so good. It was so good, and we didn't see it coming initially, and just seeing the plan come together between Eleanor and Jude and Kyle and them roping Pali in order to take the shot, it pretty much changed the entirety of the end game, because seeing them come back together initially, I'll be honest, I thought Hyrie, Owen, and Rocky were going to be the final 3 because of the board, the Clur pretty much starting to disintegrate, but seeing them get their shit together and pull this off was just amazing to see.
I mean, from my point, it was good that Hyrie went out, because then I could gather Owen, Rocky, and Danny from my side. So
Yeah.
I could have voted out one of them. That's why I decided to vote with the 3 of them against Hyrie.
Yep. Anything on production have anything to say before I move on to the next one?
Also, Polly, because you were the name. It was him or you at the last minute. He backed out of the Jude plan.
Also, that's
So you made the right choice.
That's true. That's also true.
All right, next up, I will also be presenting, as we have best move, we also have worst move. And some of y'all made questionable fucking moves. Our nominees are Cassie voting Davey at Final 12-13 and telling absolutely fucking no one about it. Cassie, this was dumb and completely fractured your power on your initial try, because people figured out pretty quickly you voted for Davey and you just didn't fess up to it. Next up, Fabi, you not playing your fucking idol. It was a 5-person tribal. You had just lost individual immunity. You had 1-2 so far. Play your idol. No one really wanted to see you go except for the final 3. You screwed up so many plans by not playing your fucking idol. Play your idol next time. Hyrie telling Eleanor to throw a vote on him. Do not put yourself on the line of execution, Hyrie. This is pretty much what gave Eleanor all of the ammunition she needed to push the vote onto you. Not breaking up the club at all, ever, like point blank. I think this is enough to say. And then an underrated one that we felt I need to put in. Paulito and Kyle, he threw his name out at the final 9. For a little context surrounding this, Kyle initially had a group chat going to try and take out Rocky. He pretty much had Rocky dead on sights. And then Pali mentions in the tribe call, oh, yeah, I did throw your name out, Kyle, like a couple hours ago. Keisha was on that call and saw Kyle's face completely drop and fall. And from that, right after that call, Kyle was going on like, we need to split up Cassie and Pali. So Pali, I don't think he really understood how much that really kind of impacted stuff. But yeah, that pretty much screwed you and Cassie, in our opinion, by complete accidents. All of these kind of dumb, but dumb stuff happens. But the dumbest move that we voted for is Hyrie telling Eleanor to throw a vote on him. Hyrie, what the fuck were you doing?
At that point, like, pulling that move on Jude was never gonna happen. And like, because some of my allies were not like really mentally in the game on the headspace. And then with the people not wanting to vote a certain way, and then Eleanor telling me she can't do a certain way. And I was like, okay, if I need to build trust with Eleanor moving forward, here, I'll give you an olive branch. And
unfortunately, Hyrie, she was ready to break that olive branch in 16 different places.
Hyrie, in
And
another
she did.
we could work so well together in another life. Like I don't know. I'm so sorry, but yeah, you shouldn't have told
No,
me
you're
that.
fine. It's
I
fine.
was voting for you anyways.
All right. Next up, we have Best Reads. This is Ollie.
Yes. So Best Reads is basically someone who was able to really understand the kind of workings of the game and really just read the game. And I'm not going to lie to all of you, there is only one nominee because someone read this game to filth in the best way possible. And that person is Jude. Like Jude, I'm going to tell you this right now. And I'm going to specify two different I'm going to specify two different things. Number one, the round that you played your idol. You were working, but you were watching what was going on, and you noticed Kyle, Mona Lisa, and Hyrie all join the tribe call at the exact same time. You clocked they were an alliance, you clocked those 4 all together, you knew that they were voting you. That's one instance. You also were able to figure out how the idol things worked before anyone else, so you were always able to figure out how people were doing with the idol and who was searching. There was also points where you would have your reads, and I'm about to clock some people, and I do apologize. However, you would say reads, and then Eleanor and Kyle, hi, you would tell her that she was absolutely wrong, and her reads were absolutely far left, but then you would go to other people and then tell them her reads and mark them as your own. We noticed this several times.
Oh my gosh, I would actually really love like an example, like not as a bad.
So the main thing was, one thing I can say off the top of my head very quickly was Fabi's idol. She was the first person to say, I think Fabi left with it. Both of you at one point on a call said, no, that didn't happen. No, I don't see that happening. And then proceeded to go to other people and go, I think Fabi left with the idol.
Well, yeah, because what were we supposed to say? It was Jude's idea?
Yeah.
Like,
but congratulations, Jude.
Yeah.
You have won Best Reads.
I have never seen anyone soul read the fuck out of a game like I have Jude. It was honestly mind-boggling. She had no right to know the things she did, and she just did.
Not only that, I don't speak up a lot, but I went to Broad and I was like, have you noticed Jude like predicts the future? She'll say something and then it happens. Like she'd be in a Broad chat, be like, I think this, and then bam, it happened. You have the best reads of anyone I've ever seen.
This is where my luck number 9 goes in.
Actually, no, I regret that's why Jude was only a 1 vote finalist. Not gonna lie.
Why? Because she had the best reads.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a really very, very.
Okay, so now we're going on to
should have read that
worst
Kyle would
reads.
win.
So worst
We have
reads. We have thoughts. Eleanor, Hyrie, and TJ. Unfortunately, there were just some moments where your reads were just way out of left field, and we say this with love, because again, there was just times where it was you had this idea, and we were like, oh no, I'm so sorry, that's really wrong. But I actually can't remember who the winner is.
I can tell you who the winner is. It's TJ. TJ, you have the worst reads, and it's not even close.
We love you. You just read the game wrong. And that happens sometimes. Unfortunately, you may have just not got the information that you needed. And it happens. But you were still fun to watch. Because when you had the right reads, they were funny. They just weren't right. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one now, which I believe is Best Fight. And that's Keisha.
Oh, yes. Come on, bring it on. Okay. Please reveal them all and let me describe. Okay. So this fight for Cassie and Rocky is kind of more funny moments for me than Best Fight, but it's also Best Fight because this is my summary of how this fight went. This is right after, I don't know who the heck went home, but they're fighting over whoever went home. And it's, oh my God, we're going to still be friends after this game. But we just don't click well. I just realized we just don't work well together in the game. And this is all happening over voice notes. So I had to go listen to 30 minutes of voice notes at like 4 and 6 minutes at a time all the way down. And it's like one voice note that starts with describing the game about how they just don't click, and it's they're finally realizing it. And at the end, but we're going to be friends after. The next one, yeah, you're right. I really tried to work with you. I don't know why we don't click, but I was really trying. But you know what? We're going to be cool. We're friends. It's all love. It's just a game. We're friends. Next message, retaliation fight. On and on for 30 minutes. And that was the fight, but it was back and forth for a full 30 minutes of voice notes, which for me, which is crazy and insane. The next one, we're going to show a graphic right after later. There's a whole graphic.
The graphics at the end, so I'm just going to reveal the best nominees.
So
and we'll
this is the everyone versus everyone was after Cassie vote. Y'all all fought with everybody. Like it was in DMs, y'all was in voice notes. Like this is the graphic. This is who was all fighting. It was Eleanor with everyone. Danny and Eleanor with Hyrie, Jude, Kyle, Rocky, Polly. The only person who didn't have some argument or beef with someone was Owen. Kyle and Polly fought. Polly told Kyle he was going to be 5th place juror, just like the other Kyle. Yes, people not even in the game was catching shade, y'all. It was a mess. Kyle and Rocky had beef. Rocky and Polly still had their thing going back and forth and was like, forget it. Don't vote for me then. Like when I tell y'all, it was I was like on Real Housewives of Triumph, like nobody's business, catching it all, trying to like report it all to the rest of the hosts. It was on. So then the other best fight was Kyle and Polly. That was part of this whole thing because that was when Polly told Kyle he was going to be like his namesake and just get 5th place, which of course did not happen. Congratulations, Kyle. And
I was like, that's an honor. I love Kyle G.
And then, of course, we have what is actually the winner of Best Fight, Hyrie and Mona versus Jude and Eleanor, which gave us the iconic quote, and I'm probably not going to get the quote quite right.
Wait, I can pull it up for you because it is in fact an episode title, so give me a second.
Oh, yes, please,
got it. Episode 5, episode title. I'm personally not taking feedback right now.
Thank you. Yes, period. We love that quote. We're all going to use it. I'm going to use it in my own life, even if I misquote it. But this was the best fight. It was a little cuckoo crazy. We was not expecting it, but that was in the middle of a tribal council. And for those who didn't see it, go back and watch that tribal council now because it was fire.
Like, it was just great. Like Mona literally was like, "Dude, your game sucks," and that's when she was like, "I'm personally not taking feedback." Like, I was not
Right out. She was like, I'm not listening. And then somehow Hyrie jumped in and started going to Eleanor. We were like, "Wait, who's fighting? Why is everybody jumping in?" So yeah, so that one for best fight.
I think I was pretty quiet.
Girl.
In that one.
That initiated the best rivalry. I just want to let you know because I mean,
yes, kicked off the best rivalry.
All right, we're gonna speed it up a little bit. So, funniest moment. Who's
All right.
presenting this?
This is me.
All right.
So, for those of you that haven't figured out, I'm a bit of a wise ass, and I love for these funny moments. And I figure we all need these funny moments to break up the stress of the game sometimes. So we had quite a few funny moments happen. Literally the first tribal, Al yelling "yay" after Mothi got voted out during the very first tribal. Everyone fighting after Cassie got voted out. That was more funny for us as prod to watch. Then we have the I Survived to Triumph game show challenge. The pictures from that are amazing. Everybody's reactions to Z taking greed. Owen's eulogy at the Final Five Tribal. And TJ/Shaft actually being related, which Prod had no idea about until the two of them started talking.
I want to talk about that because literally, like, the cast was being revealed really quickly, and like Shaft hadn't been revealed yet, and TJ was revealed, and Shaft was like, "What was it?" He was like, "Oh, that is like my stepdad's cousin or something." And we were like, "Huh? Like, yeah, we're doing a Worlds Collide season, but what are the odds that we get two Australians that are fucking family?" And it was hilarious.
Owen's eulogy, if you haven't gotten to hear Owen's speech that we read out for him after he was voted out of Final Five, was epically hilarious, and had everybody in stitches, the prod and the players included. And that is why that was the funniest moment, because I mean, even after taking a vote out like that, to be able to just read everybody in the room and just throw that all out there, even though he knew he wasn't going to be able to be at Tribal, we gladly read that out because it was way too epically hilarious to not read it out.
Also, I didn't have time to add this, but shout out to everyone roasting the absolute fuck out of TJ after his roast. It was actually hysterical.
Yeah, that would have been included in this had we not already done this.
All right. So this is me. I'll make this quick. Best Tribal Council. This is just what we believe to be the best Tribal Council of the season. Our nominees are Davy's elimination, Mona Lisa's elimination, and Rocky's elimination. All three of these tribal councils fucking TV gold, right? But we have to give it to Davy's elimination because the fact that y'all went so cracked and the fact that Davy fucking left, it was a 4-3 to 2-2 or whatever the fuck it was. Y'all were on something. I don't know how many of you were on something, but the amount of trust that y'all just lost in that tribal council was bonkers. Y'all just started cracking up the second 5 people got votes. Like, it was wild. Next up is Best Confessionals, who is being presented by Megan.
Yeah, Best Confessionals. Just show the noms. Because I really know how to talk about that. Okay, so Eleanor, Jude, and Owen. Jude did a ton of videos, which was really awesome. This was like a season lacking videos to the point where you guys just aren't going to get a channel with all the videos opened like normal because I stopped noticing any of them and didn't post them. So sorry in advance, you guys don't get to see all the video confessionals. Eleanor was just constantly talking shit in her confessional, which was really funny. So be happy you guys don't see the chats afterwards. But then ultimately our winner does go down to Owen, who had amazing confessionals. He gave amazing thoughts all the time. The jury members saw he had his playlist of songs for every round. So I mean, Owen just really puts a lot of effort into giving his thoughts, but also making things fun in his confessionals. And so the win there goes to Owen. And I will go message his prod chat right now and tell him he won.
All right. Next up are the Big Four awards. And I always have included this in the Big Four because it's funny. Messiest player, Ollie.
Hee hee. So I just want to get right to the nominees. Eleanor, Kyle, and TJ. To some of you thinking you weren't messy, this is your first reality check. And I kind of want to get to the winner because I feel like they really need this reality check, thinking that they weren't TJ 2.0. Yes, Kyle, you were the messiest player. So don't you even try it. The way you went around to everyone and literally, so for context, and Hyrie can confirm this, during Galapagos, we had a joke that the three people that won the messiest player needed to call a plumber because they were the ones that kept leaking everything and blaming it on other people. The amount of times that you would go and tell someone something, and then as soon as someone else found out, you would go, oh yeah, that was this person. It was this person that probably said it. I can tell you now, I'm so sorry, Eleanor. You were probably the recipient of half of it.
But did I not clock it?
Yes.
I was also leaking shit too.
But Kyle would literally tell everybody's business, and how you didn't get clocked is beyond me. But yeah, unfortunately, there were a lot of times, Kyle, we had the plumber on speed dial for you in case the leak got too much for you. But I'm sorry, you are messiest player.
That's crazy.
It's not even a debate. You outmessed TJ.
Yeah.
TJ had an effect on me, guys. I'm sorry.
At one point in time, Kyle went into his project and was like, I'm going to say this to make Eleanor paranoid, ha ha ha, or something along the
Oh, no, it was final 5 or final 6, and he literally went, shall I troll Eleanor today? Shall I troll her? I don't know. Maybe.
And I cried afterwards, Kyle, in my prod chat.
But like I did that like every round. I'd be like, Eleanor, I'm voting for you. Cheers.
I know. I should have been used to it by then.
I'm not gonna lie, for the whole single time I
some
told
of the
that
bigger. Oh, sorry, Polly. We're gonna get to some of the bigger awards of the standards that we have of the season. Hero of the season is next, so we can go ahead and post the nominees. Okay, so hero of the season is usually players that stick to their allies, players who usually are loyal about their votes and what they're doing. For me, heroes are usually very honest players too. So this season, we have one player who I think embodies a hero in terms of being loyal, sticking to their team, as well as being straight up about their votes and what they're going to do for the most part. Doesn't mean you're always honest, doesn't mean you're perfect, but in terms of gameplay, your positioning, trying to ride with your people and get them where they need to go. This player for me was, in the rest of Prod, was the leader for everyone in terms of the hero of the season. And that winner is Polly.
No.
Your alliance got taken out early. You stayed by them. You tried to fight for them. You went after Kyle. Nobody wanted to go after Kyle with you. But you're one of the few people in this game who tried to make a move against the trio and go after Kyle to fight for your alliance. And it didn't quite work, but you tried. And you still remained standing until Final 4 after your people were taken out. You were constantly targeted. And you still fought your way all the way to the end, and you are our Triumph Worlds Collide hero. Great job, Polly.
I just want to mention. I just want to mention one of the most. Yeah, I just want to mention one of the more frustrating things for me. After Cassie got voted out, Polly fully ratted out Kyle. Fully ratted out that Kyle made the group chat. Kyle wanted to target Rocky. Told this to Rocky, and Rocky's like, I'm on call with Kyle right now. You're lying. Like, as a production, knowing Polly was telling the absolute truth and was just getting shut up was so frustrating.
Yeah, you tried it, Polly. They just didn't want to listen to you.
Yeah, it was so frustrating for me that Cassie went out and also Z went out. And then I realized that Kyle, Eleanor, and Jude were the three of us together. It was so very, very strong for me that I cannot vote against them at that point. So I needed Heidi out for lining up with Rocky, lining up with Owen, lining up with Danny at the same time. So maybe I can take them out, but no, Danny wanted to be out at Final 7. So yeah, that was very, very
All right.
sad for me. Yep.
All right. With every hero, we need to have a villain of the season. I believe
Dun,
this
dun,
is.
dun.
Yep.
And let's get right to the nominees because there was lots of villains this season. There was lots of people that just wanted to just shake things up and just do whatever the hell they wanted to just cause some chaos. And that we have Cassie, we have Kyle, we have Rocky, and they're three completely different ways that they were villains. But this one, it was very clear who the villain was because they were the snake oil salesman of the season. They could literally say anything to anyone and they would believe it, whether it was completely not true. It was Kyle by a landslide because there was no way, again, that Kyle should have been number one on so many people's trust rankings, round after round after round. It was hilarious to watch as Kyle was continuously believed by everyone, even after he just did them dirty round after round. And especially like Ollie said the last earlier from Messias, when he's just like, let's fuck with people today. Let's fuck with Eleanor today. What can I do now? So congrats, Kyle. You're the villain of the season.
I'm not even going to deny this award. I was even shocked that Cassie and Rocky were nominated for this.
All right.
Oh, there's reasons.
There's reasons. Player of the season.
Oh, okay. So I get to do this one. Yes. Okay. So for player of the season, of course, this is a player who, from production standpoint, we see having a well-rounded game, who played the heck out of the game. Go ahead and show the noms, please. And we're going to jump right to the winner. But of course, the noms are Eleanor, Jude, and Owen, who all played this game very well for different reasons in different ways. We've talked about them in different categories already tonight. And for production, it was
unanimous.
Very clear unanimous who the player of the season was. And that person was Jude. And the reason we talked about it in terms of having the reads, we talked about it in terms of having the strategic play. But from the beginning of this game, Jude, you stood out on your individual tribes and then even in Merge in terms of how you were socializing, connecting with people. And also, obviously, you had your loyal trio, but you were making those connections to the point where I think it was Davey who said it at some point during the final tribal council. You had people who wanted to protect you, not just Kyle and Eleanor, but you had Davey, you had Rocky. These are the reasons why Eleanor wanted to get rid of those people, because you had people who did not want to put your name down, who did not want to get rid of you. This is a testament to how well you were playing this game, how well you were doing it in a way that wasn't putting a target on you all the time until towards the end when people wanted to vote you out. But it wasn't enough votes. There wasn't enough to get you out. And you were really rocking this game in terms of your reads, having the strategic gameplay, working with the loyal alliance that you were working with, while also working with other people. And that doesn't mean working with 100% of the game. So your decision to say, these are the people I'm rocking with, and the Z's and the Cassies of the world I'm not rocking with, it's a good gameplay, because then you know you have people you can vote for, but you also have enough people who won't put your name down, so you can never get voted out of the game. So you are the player of the season from the production standpoint. Great game.
Yep. I also just want to stress, we usually have the player of the season is the person who doesn't win, because retrospectively, person who won best player. That's Megan's Skatebot thing. So it's always the player
You're welcome.
Best player who doesn't win.
Yeah.
I will say, had Jude won, we were fucking struggling to figure out who the player of the season was, because we were so unanimous on Jude has to win player of the season. We had no idea what the fuck the two actually won.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, well, thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, next we're going into VL favorite. We literally opened the poll this morning to be like, hey, VL, who did you like the most?
Yeah.
You were late with it.
We still got a decent amount of votes, and actually, to be fair, I think we did, funny enough, get more votes during this than Siberia. So, well done, VL. But these are the nominees for VL favorite, and the top 3 vote getters were Eleanor, Jude, and Z. I'm going to do it third, second, third. So the third place was Jude. So it's between Eleanor and Z. And in second place was Z. So congratulations, Eleanor. You are the Viewers Lounge favorite. Congratulations.
Thank you. Being a bitch pays off. Finally.
All right, now we're gonna go into production individual favorites. We picked one person who was our favorite player this season. Does that mean we don't all love all of y'all personally? This is just strictly game wise, right? Sam's not here, so I'm just gonna reveal that his production favorite was Davey. I don't think he left a message.
No, poor Sam's in the hospital. Everyone wish him well.
Everyone wish Sam well.
He's been struggling.
Next up is Alex, who was here a little bit before, but is gone now. I don't think did he send a message or no?
Yeah, I've got it.
All right. Alex's favorite player was Danny.
So the message that Alex sent, and I'm just going to find Danny because I've lost her now. There she is. So this was Alex's message. I thought Danny was so well spoken, and for being such a young'un, she was very mature for her years and has just loved her perspective that she brought to the game, and especially to the jury roundtable. Also loved her energy and just an all-around sweetheart. Cheers to you, my love. This was such a great cast, and everyone should be proud of their part in such an incredible season. But you were his favorite.
All right. Next up, we have Jordan. Jordan, you are here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jordan's favorite player was Cassie.
Probably no surprise. One of the best social players out there. Cassie, you in the beginning of the game had people clock you but still want to work with you, which is a hard thing to do to simultaneously have a bunch of people like, oh, I want to work with her, but I also know her game. Like, that's hard to do. You played very well, and I know it was, I think, nominated for one of the worst moves, but until the Davey vote, I think you had like a strong shot in the game. Also, I always give honorable mentions. Jude and Eleanor, I also loved both of you, even if Eleanor trolled the ever-loving mess out of me throughout this game. But Jude, you were actually one of the sweetest people I've ever seen play orgs. And Eleanor, you were the op. I'm just kidding. You're sweet too. Love all y'all.
All right. Next
the girls
up,
killed it. Sorry, last thing. The girls killed it this season. Go ahead.
John, you're here?
No, I'm not here.
All right. I'm just going to reveal yours then. Yeah, you voted Owen.
Cool. Yes, I have Owen. Owen always wore his heart on his sleeve, and he always gave it 100%. Even when he knew he wasn't in the best of positions, he always fought till the bitter end. And he would always try and have fun, even though there was a whole bunch of shit going on. And he got involved in some of the fights and everything like that. He always tried his best to make everybody laugh at the end of the day.
All right. Next up is Keisha. Keisha's production favorite was...
I'm here. And my production favorite is Polly. Oh my gosh. First, let me just say, I love half of you. This is a hard decision, but not a hard decision because Polly, like I already said when I mentioned Hero, you played the heck out of this game. I love your spirit. I love your fight. I love your props. I love the voting card. You mentioned it, so you stole my thunder because I was going to mention it. But and of course, I was there for your first game, and I do think you really had a great redemption, and you played so well and done so great coming back, and I'm so proud of you. And you were my favorite player this season because I think you did a wonderful job this whole game. So great job.
All right.
I was never expecting this, so thank you so much, Keisha. You make me cry. I'm not faking it. Honest. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry too. Stop. All right. Next up is my production favorite. I might be a little biased here because this person is from my original season, but I did choose Fabi. Fabi, I remember you from our season. And again, like I said before, the big reason why I wanted to push for you to be invited to this season is because I wanted to see the player in you, because I know you're a good player. I wanted to see you kind of rise to the occasion and shine. And you surprised the fuck out of us on production, which with the way you played. You became an immunity beast. You made really good moves strategically. You grew so much as a player and played so much better than you did in Japan. I just generally, as a friend, am so proud of you and the growth that you did. And had you just played that fucking idol, you would have made it so much goddamn farther, because you screwed over so many plans by leaving when you did. I think you were set up to actually go really, really far had you did stay when you did. But I, just as a friend, I'm so proud of you and how you did this season. So congratulations, Fabi.
Thanks. No, I tried because I felt like generally I felt like going to this just trying something else. Like the immunity wins, they were like a surprise for me too, but I guess I was just good at the puzzles and all the stuff. But I just felt like trying to do something different and also just trying to what I wanted to do. Like because in Japan it was like I was kind of stuck between two sides the whole time. I did not do anything, and I was like, this time I'm gonna try to decide what I want to do. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you, Fabi. Anyways, Megan wanted to talk about this one specifically before I revealed it. So Megan.
Yes, let's go. So my production favorite, if you guys know me, you know that I kind of have my little thing. Every season of Triumph, I call them my player crush. Just because that's just how I be. I love everybody. And I find my little person and I'm like, oh my God, I'm crushing on them. And so my favorite this season actually kind of like got me from the get-go. When I watched their interview, I could probably find the screenshots. I went into the prod chat while I was rewatching it back and I said, they are mesmerizing. And then they were my favorite throughout literally the entirety of the season. And clearly so, because they even guessed it in their prod chat a couple of days ago. They knew it was coming. So Brandon, go ahead. My favorite was Eleanor. Eleanor, you are funny, you're beautiful, you are so interesting to watch, especially I love new people. I love newbies to the org community. Like I said, you're mesmerizing and you're a cunt. So it was a no-brainer for me. I loved the fuck out of you the entire season. So
it's the end, you're a cunt for me.
You were my
like
favorite.
For me, like it just I love people who are just assholes, like, but like in a fun way, you know, like she's not actually mean, you guys, but like she's
I love
just
you,
a little
Morgan.
bitch. Yeah, Morgan. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Finally up is Ollie.
Yay, my turn. So before I announce my production favorite, I want to ask someone, because there is one person in the cast who seems convinced that they know who my production favorite is. So I would like to ask Eleanor, who's my production favorite?
I think it's Rocky.
So before you reveal, Brandon, I just want to say, Eleanor, there's a reason that you were on the list for worst reads. Brandon, who was my prod favorite?
It's Jude.
It was Jude. I love my Rocky to pieces. Rocky knows I have all the love in the world for him. He is one of my favorite human beings. But I will admit, I literally dibsed Jude as my production favorite from literally round like 1 or 2. I think I was a Jude stan from the very beginning. Literally Jude, I don't play a lot of games anymore. Like I host more than I play. And I loved watching you just because of how you played and just your energy. You have such a heart. You have such a genuine just authenticity to yourself that I just loved. Even at Final Tribal Council, your closing speech, you gave your other member, like your other Final Three, such flowers. And I was just like, this is a lovely human being. But from a game standpoint, you played the literal F out of it. And I just hope you are so proud. I could go on for hours, production know this. I could go on for hours about how amazing you are. But we can just do that on a separate call where I can give you all the notes on how much you actually played. And I just want to give you one word of advice. Don't undersell your game, because I'm going to tell you right now, when some people may have slightly oversold theirs, you undersold yours, because I could give you 6 points right now of moves that were yours. So I just want you to have your flowers. And I love you.
Oh, thank you so much. You make me cry with that. Like, oh.
Cry.
Also, Jude, just wanted to let you know, had Ollie not dibs, we were fighting over this one.
Oh my
all
God.
all of us fought over you. Like 5 of us were like, I want Jude. No, I want Jude. No, I want Jude.
And at that point, I was
I
like,
didn't.
sorry, already dibster. Haha.
I did it not because I don't love you, Jude, but I was locked in.
Thank you all. Sorry for missing your podcast name.
It's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
And thanks. Do you have any questions about the season? Well, ask them. We are more than happy to spill all the details.